Hi everyone, Andrea here, back with another video about hair pulling. Today I'm going to share some tips that you can try to help yourself stop pulling out your hair or interrupt other body-focused repetitive behaviors like skin picking, nail biting, things like that. These are all things that I tried, and a lot of these things ended up not working for me, and I'm not sharing them to discourage. In fact, it's the opposite. I want to encourage you to try a multitude of things, because I think one thing I learned is that I've had this condition since I was 5 years old. I talked about it in depth in like past videos. I did not have eyelashes for I think 17 years. I think I said 14 years in one of my eyelash videos, but I think it was actually 17 years because I started pulling them out when I was around 5 or 6, and I'm almost 23. So yes, so I did not have eyelashes for 17 years. I pulled out at some point, I had pulled out like all of the hair on the like top half of my head. And that peaked around 6th grade, where like all of the hair on the top of my head was really short, like this long, and covered in like bald patches basically. So I share all of these as basically an encouragement that you can try many things, and you might try many things that don't work, but eventually you can get to a place where you find something that does work. And yeah, so we'll just dive right in. Also share below if you have extra tips, because I have not. If you've watched previous videos, you will know that I have not entirely stopped pulling out my hair. I still pull out my hair sometimes. I still pull out my bottom eyelashes. The only thing that basically keeps me from pulling out my top eyelashes is mascara. So yes, I'm working on having a relationship with trichotillomania rather than stopping it altogether, because I realized that that's what has worked for me, is almost like this taper off approach rather than a full stop approach. I don't know if that will relate to anyone, but here goes some of the things I tried. 1, gloves and hats. I tried these when I was pretty young, so they didn't work, I think, because I would remove them. But if you're older, like if you're an adult or like a teenager or something like that, and you want to try gloves and hats, I think it can be helpful for pattern interruption and making yourself aware that you're pulling out your hair. I think one issue that I had for a long time is I didn't even almost like it was such a mindless behavior and habit that I never really knew when I was pulling out my hair. Like I think I knew, but it was like this mindless activity. So even if gloves and hats don't necessarily stop the behavior altogether, I think they can give you cues. Like when you take off the gloves, when you take off the hat and you start pulling, you can stop and ask yourself, okay, what has triggered this event? Is it because I'm alone? Is it because I'm stressed out? Is it because I'm excited, anxious, sad, any number of things? And you can have a conversation with yourself about, okay, I've taken off the thing that I tried to get myself to stop pulling. Let's like take a moment to pause and assess why it is that I'm pulling, because I think a lot of it is mental. Okay, continue. Okay, Vaseline. I don't even know if I tried this one, but I thought of this one while I was like making a list of the things that I did try, is like Vaseline on your fingertips to make, or like lotion to make your hands kind of slick and like unable to like grab the hair. It's also harder to grab hair, I think, when it's freshly washed, because there aren't any oils in it. So yes, things on your hands that make it difficult to like bite your nails, pick your skin, stuff like that. Band-aids, you could put band-aids on the tips of your fingers. I don't know if I tried that one either, but I saw that the other day in a comment somewhere, and I thought that was actually a really good tip and really interesting, because I feel like a pack of band-aids is really cheap and it's worth a shot. Like for example, if you're like watching TV alone, which I feel like is one of my times when I'm more likely to like reach for my head, I feel like band-aids are a good idea, even just around a few fingers that might be the ones that are like grasping onto the hair. And again, that one aids in pattern interruption and helping you realize like what it is about your environment and your mental state that's making you pull. Okay, rubber bands on wrists. I think I tried this one, and if I tried it, it had to have been very brief, because I think that there was this tip, I don't know who I got it from, but you could put a rubber band on your hand, and every time you go to pull out your hair, you like snap the rubber band. Which kind of, I guess, like replaces the physical stimulation elsewhere. And I guess, again, pattern interruption, making yourself aware. I'm not a huge fan of that one. I can't even really like put into words why. I just feel like it's almost like trying to like train a dog. And I feel like what I've been learning the past 17 years with this condition is that you're not responsible for training yourself. You're responsible for having a close, intimate relationship with yourself where you can talk to yourself about like, okay, this is something I do. If I want to stop, that's okay, but I need to get real with myself about why I think I'm doing this. And I think I approached the dynamic with myself with more patience than like snapping a rubber band. I don't know if that makes sense, but other things. Okay, stress balls, toys, fidget toys, super fun. But again, I feel like it's kind of like approaching the tactile nature of hair pulling with a different tactile sensation, and I didn't find that worked for me, but I do think it's like a fun one, like especially if, again, this is about your relationship with yourself. So if you want to buy a stress toy to try a stress toy, make it fun. Like go on Amazon or go to Five and Below and feel different like stress toys and figure out like pick out something you like and make it like a treat for yourself out of like self-love, that like it's okay that you're doing this, but I do want to stop, and we're gonna get yourself a nice like stress toy. I hope this is helping. Okay, I did try therapy as well. I was really young. I think I was either 9 or 11. I can't remember exactly how old I was. And my therapist I really liked my therapist. She would have me like draw pictures of the way I wanted my hair to look like one day, and we would talk about that. And I think she would help me try to like design a vision for my hair that I could achieve. I was so in the depths of my hair pulling that I think it was actually more discouraging than anything, because I think I was like, I'll never have a center part. Like I was just so far away from that, you know? At that point, it would have taken probably a full year for me to grow out my hair, and a year when you're 10 is a long time. So also my parents were spending resources on the therapy, and I think I became uncomfortable with that over time, because even though I knew they were willing to invest money in the hope that I could improve, I realized it wasn't working. And so I remember talking to them and being like, I think I just want to stop, like it's not helping. Which again is a reminder that like you can try different things, and like it's okay if they don't work. It's better than trying nothing, I think. And then I did get hair extensions. I got hair extensions around March of 2024, March of last year, and that was on the top of my head. So I still had a patch like right here that was really, really short, and it was like my pull patch basically. Like I don't really go for long hair, which is such a blessing, because once my hair gets to a certain length, I'm way less inclined to pull it out. And the extensions helped. I paid for them, and they were expensive. I think they were like keratin bond extensions, I think, and the woman that did them was like really good at what she did, and she even said, she's like, I don't even know if I can get these in your hair, because my hair was like half an inch long on the very top of my head, but she was able to do it, and it came out of my pocket. I think it was about $700, and I think there was part of like the money I'd invested in myself that made me a little bit more committed to stopping pulling, and then also the pattern interruption. So she had to like clump my hair together to get the K-tips on, and the way that those felt on the top of my head, I would kind of go and like touch the top of my head, like I could tell that I wanted to pull, but then I would kind of get freaked out because I didn't want to pull like a whole clump of hair out with an extension attached to it. So that helped a lot in the pattern interruption, because I think once you go a certain amount of time, I think they say it's like 60 to 90 days without doing a habit, it kind of breaks the habit. So extensions did end up helping me a lot. And that is, I credit extensions to a lot of like the more recent new growth that I have. Like a lot of this, you can see it's not quite like this sort of thing. It's not quite the length of my hair, but that's like a 1.5 years worth of growth that was only able to happen because I had extensions for about 4 months. And by the time the 4 months went by, 4 to 6 months, and then I got them taken out, the hair was long enough to where I didn't want to pull it out anymore. So definitely recommend extensions, but that can be an expensive journey. Yeah, so okay, those are some of the things that I tried. Please comment below if there are other recommendations, because again, I still struggle with this and I'm always looking for new things to try. But again, gloves, hats, band-aids, Vaseline, lotion, rubber bands on your wrists, stress balls, fidget toys, therapy, and extensions. Those are some of the things that you can try, and I hope something helps. And again, If you learn nothing new from this video, I just hope you take away that you can try a lot of things and over many years, and it can be very discouraging, and I relate to you a lot if that is the case, and I hope that one day you are able to figure out something that helps. And at the end of the day, it's all about improving your relationship with yourself and the condition. So sending love, and know that you're not alone.